checking with Qchtt by Salman Rushdie, chapters 5 and 6. Chapters 5 being about Dr. Dr. Smile, the employer and nephew of Qchtt, who, yes, is running a pharmaceutical company, delivering a wonderful spray that delivers fentanyl really well. Surprise, surprise. He's really a shady character who is basically a using it as a drug cartel, hiring incredibly good-looking people, both male and female, former strippers and the like, to be his sales reps, to give as much drugs to his the doctors that they can get, to basically get everybody as addicted as possible. Makes fun of a story. And there's a village. There was a older gentleman who would give out drugs and say, would keep on giving out drugs to people, even past the point where they had their subscription ran out, or gave him extra drugs. And he says, it's not good for the medicine, but it's great for the pocketbook. And he's like, and people would laugh about this, like, oh no, it's a very bad thing. But then later they're going, oh, he was basically confessing to us. None of this is particularly surprising, and indeed he was he also was incredibly unfaithful to his wife, using a lot of those former female strippers, now his sales reps, and also his then former sales reps, as his sexual escorts and stuff like that. But he had this one family member, Qchtt, this elderly gaunt man, very Quixote-like, as his the one employee, and he's expecting that at some point he'll be called to just sort of pick up this elderly guy as it goes. He does get a call from Salma R, saying that they want his services, because he caters, of course, to the rich. In America, the rich get special services. And he's like, oh, this might be the chance to actually fulfill the old man's dreams before he dies, and get him uniting with his heart's desire. So we have that. So the fentanyl stuff, it's nothing that was particularly new, but it's like, okay, this is the kind of the scuzzy world that Qchtt probably kind of fairly innocently has been going through. At least that's what you get the sense of. But, the corrupt world, as in Quixote in Spain in the 1600s, that kind of corruption as well. The other story is all from the point of view of Sancho, the imaginary son, who has consciousness in this thing, except he finds that all his consciousness is indeed the old man's, that he's aware that he's been conjured up by the old man, and he's aware that, okay, the old man is basically my creator, but I get the sense that there's a creator behind him. And of course, who that must be? It must be God, though we know it's actually brother, and we know that beyond brother is Salman Rushdie, I guess. So we've got the multiple different layers, and him going up, him being, we've got the thing of him. Hey, psst, 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 come on! Shira is barking at Theo, who is going up and down the stairs. Big butt heads, Shira. Psst, 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 psst. We've got and he's also definitely got kind of the Pinocchio thing of, like, I'm not a real boy, but I want to be a real boy, kind of thing. And it's hard not having a mother. He thinks about all the gods. Most of the gods even had mothers, like Jesus had Mary, and all the the various gods of Hinduism and all that, they had they had mothers, but who are their mothers? Who's the mother's mother, and how far back does it go that way? And also, like, do I need a blue fairy to be real, or do I need something else? And, like, is there some way that I could replace the old man and shove him off and become real, and get his lady love, which is Salma R, even though Salma R is imagined as his progenitor and stuff like that. So we've got some good meta stuff going there. We've got some good kind of resentments and stuff like that. He also has the old man's memories. So he's got the old man memory of him as a young boy himself, memories of his father uh, going to a lunch with him and a couple of his young female friends, and the father fondling them, and them finally, after pushing him away enough, finally yelling at him, and him actually taking their side, yelling at his father, and that being the break where they didn't talk again. He got shoved off to school. The racism of a kind of an English school, of an English school system, of being, labeled, you know racist graffiti on his walls, of being, he violated the things for English school. He was a foreigner. He was smart, and he wasn't good at sports. If he'd been good at sports and, had been guilty, he was guilty of the other two, that would have been one thing, but he was guilty of all three, the trifecta. So he was dirt that way. So we've got kind of, he kind of captured, he's got some of this older man's, like, his hurts, his traumas in his life, which is interesting. We're getting it through Sancho, this imaginary black and white son. So yeah, really great way of doing it. Hats off to Rushdie. All right, I will leave it there. That's chapters 5 and 6 of Qchtt by Salman Rushdie. His father listening to Don Quixote, the French opera of Quixote, French, I believe, opera of Quixote, depressed about his mother having left him or died. I can't remember which, but yeah. So there's that as well. All right, leave it there. More videos later.